Now, y'all, there's no time to waste. Let's get into episode 2 of the Never Ever Met. It's complicated IRL, aka in real life, and it's not too complicated with what we saw last week. Now, y'all know I covered episode 1. I did a regular video and then did a live with Monique 69 Ways Johnson. If you don't follow her, go follow her, honey. She's creating content, okay? And so I am back today to talk about episode 2. And listen, y'all. It continues to keep me entertained. It is not disappointing, and I will say, on network, you did what needed to be done because Alexis would not have done it on her own. But let's get right into it. So we know Ike and Alexis was into it. Okay, at the end of episode 1, we know he had flung her across the room, very aggressive. Shay's Josh kind of had to step in a little bit, and kudos to you, Josh, because. Yeah, nobody else was wanting to. Nobody else was willing or wanted to. But basically, she's embarrassed. She's scared in the moment. She picks up a whole pan, not a frying pan, but like a stock pot. Okay. And he says, he's going to F her up. She's going to F him up. And everybody's basically now giving their 2 cents, right? We don't like it. We don't like it. We don't like it. Production finally intervenes after what feels like an eternity and says, Ike, you need to go to the hotel. Alexis, you go do whatever you need to do, to calm yourself. And we'll talk about things in the morning. And my thing was, send them home now. What do we need to wait overnight for? Now, word on the street is, from the comments that I've read, they're doing interviews together now and saying that they just went on here as friends. But that didn't feel friendly. She was shedding real tears. Okay. He put them paws on her. Okay. And she felt away. And so, again, producers, you were late, but you did eventually show up. So, okay. But then gonna say in the confessional, Ike, all right, and tries to, I guess, make an attempt to tell us all we ain't see what we saw. I guess that's a true depiction of what gaslighting is, right? Because why did she do that? Why did she do that? Why did she do it? And then have not only that, we'll get into it. So then the next morning they wake up. Taronda comes out, who is the host, kudos to her, and is like, we need to have a talk. What happened last night? Alexis is emotional. Alexis is crying, and they're having the talk. Meanwhile, in the crib, the fellas are talking about it, and they're like, ooh, I guess it just got heated. And the ladies were like, no, unacceptable. She needs to stand on big business and go home. I won't let her. You know what I mean? And Diamond is emotional because, she's kind of like the mama hen of the group. And she's like, nobody deserves that. If he's doing that now, here, imagine what he would do. And the fellas are like, well, he just pushed her away, but no. So Aaron H. Senior, okay, I'm gonna call him Senior, gets in there and he's talking to her because, of course, she's emotional. She's like, I don't know what I'm going to do. Sienna's like, I know what you're going to do. You're going to pack your bags and go home. Because if he did it on camera, what would he do in real life? And that's my thing. What would he do in real life? And so Senior Pastor Aaron H. says, listen, baby, I got a daughter your age. Okay. And if this is what he's doing now, it's not going to get no better. Remember what you heard. Remember what you saw. Remember what you felt. And let's not go down this road again. Okay. And so she's taking it in. She's taking it in. Now she's meeting with Taronda, and Taronda's like, look, we ain't got time for all this. We have a no violence policy. And since he put them paws on you, he got to go. So in turn, you got to go. And kind of the rest of the house is like, good, we can now focus on us. This isn't a singles situation, is for couples. So, goodbye and good riddance. Alexis exchanges numbers with all the ladies, and they move on. Sienna and Brandon. Now, they were kind of anticlimactic during the first episode, but we're getting to know her more. He's from Florida. She's from New York. And they are having issues with the distance, right? Because apparently they've been dating online for months. And this is the first time they're encountering each other in real life. Now, he says it's all about his kids. Okay. He got a 4-year-old. He's got another something-year-old. And They need to make it work. I don't think it's going to work, but we'll get into them later. Next, we have honey Ike doing his confessional, saying goodbye, talking about single ladies hit him up. No, single ladies do not hit him up. Okay. No, just no, just don't. Let's not. Let's just not. Okay. And then we see Sandia and Chris, and we know Chris was talking big ish. Okay. To the fellas, talking about he got plenty of pros in different area codes, and Sienna's not his woman. They're not exclusive. He's just there basically. Okay. And she's like, face to face now the next day, let's talk about it. So you're just here. He's like, well, I'm here to get to know you better. She's like, so you don't know me. All right, bet. So we're just friends. We're just getting to know each other after dating online for all this time. He's like, well, I have trust issues with women. And she's like, oh, you got trust issues now. He's like, yeah. And that's why I'm trying to do this. She's like, because I'm trying to figure out what the point is. You know what I'm saying? If we're not together, if you don't trust me, then why are we here? And he's like, well, I want to work on that. And she says he's overdoing it. And my thing is, sis, I would have went home. Chris don't mean you no good, but she said she's willing to fight for her man. Next, we have the hot tub, and it's kind of, again, all of the couples are just kind of hanging out. Shay's in the hot tub, but young Aaron's in the hot tub, and Greg brings himself, okay? And Aaron can't resist and has to talk to Greg about his Michael B. Jordan abs. He couldn't let it go. He couldn't get past it. And his woman, Joanna, she doesn't get her hair wet. Okay. So he's just hanging out with the other people. And again, I just don't get it. I don't get it. Next, we have Taronda, and now we have the first couples activity. Okay. And we are delving into the Kama Sutra, which, I mean, can we get to know each other like before we start talking about the sexual stuff? But hey, whatever y'all want to do. This is y'all's show, okay? On network, this is your show. And so Taronda tells us that there's now an intimacy suite, aka a boom boom room, where you and your person can get it on. But we know they didn't need no suite. We know Shay and Josh ain't need no suite before. But they now have to do different positions, and then when they get into these Kama Sutra positions, Taronda wants them to tell everybody how they feel while they're in this position. It was giving voyeurism, okay? But let's just get right into it. So Chris and Sienna, they do like just a basic face-to-face, I don't know, lotus flower bomb. Miguel, maybe. And she says, okay, now you guys are in this position, face-to-face. How do you feel, Chris? What do you see? I see she's caring, loving, blah, blah, blah. Okay, yeah, fake. Shay and Josh, honey, and they have like little spoon, big spoon situation laying on the side. And I'm like, they already into it. Josh said, this is what we do already. This is what we do already. We didn't need this session. Next, we have Aaron and Joanna. Awkward. Everybody's confessionals like, yeah, I think they're just friends. Cause Diamond said, I don't see it. It says, I don't see it either. Okay. Aaron senior's like, it ain't it. I don't see it. It just wasn't given. I mean, it was some kind of reverse wheelbarrow or something. The picture showing, both just disinterested. They're here as friends as well. That's got to be it. They're just here to get some airtime. Next, we have Millie and Greg, honey, and he got the caution. She was like, okay, slow down 10 speed. Slow down 10 speed, because it was kind of spread eagle situation. And so he said, may I? And Greg, y'all, as I'm looking at him, as I'm hearing him talk, Greg kind of lightweight fine. Somebody had to say it. I'll be the one to say it. He fine. You know what I mean? And so she's like, when we get to this place of intimacy, we'll get there. We're not there yet. And he's like, oh, baby, when it gets there, you'll be changed forever. And I said, oh, will she, Greg? Will she, Greg? But I like Millie's boundaries. I respect it. This is their first in-person encounter. Let's take our time. Let's feel it out. And then when it's time, it'll be amazing. But he says he already felt connected. He feels the attraction. He feels it already. And so does she. Next, we have Diamond and Aaron, honey. And he said he liked being watched. Pastor Aaron Sr. said they could be on Hollywood Boulevard and he would pull out her foot and suck her toes right there because he don't mind being watched. And he loved that woman. So they got down with the good down. They automatically have a chemistry, definitely an attraction. Next, we have Sienna and Brendan. And this was another one, just no chemistry. They did some kind of sailboat and she was just sitting there like she was on a log in the forest. And he was like, where's the remote control? I'm bored. And I'm like, well, dang. No chemistry at all. So now everyone's done with this exercise. You know, we're kind of seeing where they're at. And now Sienna and Brendan are having a conversation, you know, about moving, about life, all the things, honey. And it gets aggressive because all of a sudden she's like, you know what? You called me inconsistent, but you're a B. With the itch on the end of it. That's what she said. Okay. She said, you know, you can't call me inconsistent and you haven't had a relationship to work to this day. And my thought is, well, sis, neither have you because you're here with him. But then start talking about his previous marriages and how if he really believed in marriage, he would be with them, and how she don't have no desire to go to Florida. But before it was like, whatever you want to do. And I mean, it got aggressive. She went off on him. She went off. Do you hear me? And so now the other couples have to intervene and they're trying to level with her like, Sienna, you know, relationships fail for whatever reasons. It's not necessarily his fault. And she's like, I don't care. He was married. He should still be married to the same woman. Finally, Greg pulls her to the side. Millie pulls him to the side. And basically, Brendan to Millie is like, see, you're the most down female in here. I can talk to you about anything. She's just so obstinate and I'm just not feeling it. And Greg and Sienna are talking and he's like, you know, well, if the attraction is just not there, maybe that's why you guys can't get on course. Y'all, it's a mess. Sienna and Brendan, it's not here because it's going to get volatile. I didn't realize she was going to cuss them clean out like that. And then after her having a conversation with Greg, she walks in to see Brendan having the conversation with Millie and is like, how you telling this woman about me? Girl. But y'all, that was it. Never Ever Met's episode 2. It's complicated in real life. I'll be back next week for episode 3 and maybe a little impromptu live this week. I don't know. No promises. But yeah, let me know what you guys are thinking of the season so far. If it's nothing else, it's entertaining. And if y'all are new here, I'm forgetting everything. If you guys are new here, be sure to like, comment, and subscribe. Hit the notification bell so you don't miss out, honey, when I go live or post a video because you know I'm always posting. Okay. Yeah. But other than that, thank you for watching and I will see you guys in the next video.